Batman here for IrishBoxing.com. Sorry. Seán, what's up? Big man's got a big debut on that. MSG, March 16th. We do not get bigger than this.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's an honor, it's a pleasure, and I'm super excited.
Listen, let me delve into these more. So you're half American, half Irish, am I right?
Yeah, my dad's Irish and my mom's Belgian, but I was born and raised in New York City.
Okay, right, okay, that's okay, that's class. So just delve into your Irish, because obviously here at IrishBoxing.com, Irish roots. Delve into your Irish roots just for the people that obviously don't know you too much, and just some information about yourself.
Yeah, so my dad's from Dublin. He's from Dunleary. He grew up there his whole life, went to Trinity College. Um, and my dad comes from a very Irish-speaking family. Um, my dad went to a Irish-speaking school his whole life until university. And actually, my grand uncle, so my grandfather's brother, was the chief of staff of the IRA in the 70s.
Oh
So.
wow.
Uh, so yeah, my family's, pretty involved with all things to do with Irish language and Irish freedom and things like that.
That's mad. So how did you get into boxing, Sean?
Yeah, actually it was thanks to watching Conor McGregor when I was 12, 13. Uh I think the first fight of his I watched was um against Dennis Seaver in
Okay.
January of 2015. I was 12 and I watched him walk in. Basically, my dad's Irish friend came to stay with us, and he said, "You guys got to watch this Irish fighter up and coming." Um, and we stayed up to watch it. My dad woke me up. I was on the couch, and I saw this guy just walk in like chest out. And then they did the touch gloves, and Dennis Seaver didn't want to do touch gloves, so he went like this.
Yeah.
And then and then he knocked Seaver out in like a minute or 2 minutes or something. And I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I want to learn how to do that. So I started training kind of MMA, and then the boxing coach at the MMA gym was like, screw this MMA stuff.
Yeah.
You've got good hands. Let's just stick to the boxing. And that's kind of how it happened.
It's not your first time fighting at Madison Square Garden. You fought in 2023 there against a fella called Israel Bailey, in the Ringmasters Championship. So
I fought there twice.
you fought there twice.
I fought
Okay,
there twice
so
already.
so
Yeah.
it's like two times amateur, and then a third time. So really, but a first time as well as a professional. Tell me, what is it like fighting in that world renowned iconic arena?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Obviously, those two fights and this one are in the theater, not the main arena, which is,
Yeah,
just over 5,000 seats as opposed to 20,000. But just the building, like it's the same thing when you walk into MSG, it's the same entrance. It's just there's one, door or section for the theater, one for the main. Um, and yeah, it's unbelievable. Like I went to watch Keyshawn Davis a week ago at the theater,
yeah,
and I kind of purposefully tried to get there early to see like how many people show up for the early fights because I'm the second fight, on my debut,
mm,
and it was almost packed like from the start, which was awesome.
mm.
And I think when Callum fights for like a world title, he'll fill out the main arena since it's not a world championship fight yet. It's not in that one, but yeah, I mean the atmosphere is unreal. Everyone knows the Irish fans are the craziest fans in the world,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's gonna be insane.
Um, you fought as well in well, kind of in our own kind of Madison Square Garden on the South Circular Road in Dublin. You fought in the National Stadium. There's actually a big crowd going down there April 12th. If you're over, feel more than welcome to come down. But you fought in the Irish kind of MSG in the National Stadium against Gabriel Dawson, who actually is now as well turning pro. So both these turning pro.
Yeah, we actually have the same manager, David McGinley.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dawson's a great fighter. He might be the most experienced guy I've ever fought. Yeah, obviously European champion at middleweight. Yeah, he was tough, very difficult to beat. I knew that coming in. We always fight with headgear in the amateurs in the
yeah.
US, so first fight with no headgear was a little different for me, but at the end of the day, it's pretty much the same.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, what a guy to face when I go over, like you said, at a place where I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury's fought in the National Stadium. All
Yes, he
the
has.
greatest
Yes.
Irish boxers have fought there. So yeah, being able to say I fought the European champion there in my Irish debut was pretty proud to say.
Speak to me. How did you? What was the reason to turn pro?
Yeah, so basically I was in college in New York. I just finished my classes in December, so for me it was kind of either I pursue this fully or I, use my degree and do something corporate. And for me this always gave me more of a reason to get up in the morning, it's more it's more of a passion for
Yeah.
me. So it it was a no-brainer for me once I saw that I could have my debut on this card. So
I say you'll be bringing many fans from the Emerald Isle, as the you Americans say, over to MSG. There's two debuts obviously on the start of the card. It's yourself and it's Donna Carey from County Tyrone that'll be there to kind of kick off the action, and then you have the rematch of Emma Brennan and Kevin Cronin, which is probably one that you've heard of yourself, which is a huge rematch. So I
yeah.
say it's good to be on such a stacked card as well for your debut.
Yeah, so two funny stories for that. I met Emmett Brennan when I had one amateur fight right after Tokyo. I met him in New Hampshire, in Manchester, New Hampshire, when Quigley fought Andrade for the world
Yeah.
title. I met Emmett Brennan at a bar after that fight, and I knew who he was because he was an Olympian for Ireland. And I looked up to him and I've been in contact with him since. Every time I'd go to Dublin, I train and spar at Dublin Docklands with him and stuff. And
Unreal.
when I met him, he was levels above me. He was an Olympian and I had one fight. So
Yeah.
it was a joke when we would train. And then as the years went by, and now he texted me. He's like, "Hey, when I'm in New York, like we'll get some sparring." And like now it's real sparring. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, so that's just like a great. Like I used to look up to him, and I remember meeting him, being like, "Oh shoot, this is an Olympian," and now we're on the same card. And then as a pro, and then Don Akiri, I saw box in the Bronx 3 years ago. It was like his team, Rath Freeland or something.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
they came over to box like some Metro guys, and him and one other boxer were the only two Irish guys that won that night. But they were by far the two best boxers of the night. So I purposefully like took note of them, followed them on Instagram and stuff. And now Donna and I are, chit-chatting on DM pre-fight. He didn't even
That's
know
mad.
I was at that event. I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, that's crazy. So it's just a full circle. It just shows like what working hard, staying consistent and dedicated over a long period of time does.
Um,
So
Tell me
unreal.
how 360 Promotions rang that out phone of yours and was like, listen, Shaw, we kind of have a spot for you. Do you wanna hop on the card?
Yeah, well, I'd say it was more the other way around. It's usually how it works. Everyone's trying to get on the card and they give you a spot. I don't think they were, on dialing my phone like, Sean, please, we want you. But
Yeah.
no, my managers was very well connected, knew Tom, knows people at Matchroom, Queensbury and stuff. So we've been chatting to a bunch of different people. Um, but yeah, it was the first week of January and I was on the phone with him and I was like, you saw that card at the Garden, right? On St. Patrick's Day. He's like, yeah, don't worry, I'm working on it already. I'm like, okay. And yeah,
I
we
like
just
that.
pushed for it. It made a lot of sense. I'm Irish American. All the talent on the card is from Ireland. They needed someone kind of local that fit the picture. I think it worked perfectly. I've got a bunch of Irish American fans in New York. I have a bunch of regular fans in New York that maybe wouldn't even, well, definitely wouldn't be at the event if it wasn't for me. So I'm bringing a kind of New York crowd as well that has nothing to do with the whole Irish thing, which is great. And I think they're going to be impressed by the Irish fans, the atmosphere,
Mm.
and what the event's going to be. But I'm extremely excited.
In terms of a Callum Walsh card, if you did look the last time at the Troy Arena, when Callum won, to say that liters of beer were thrown around that Troy Arena in celebration of our man winning was absolutely mental. I say that kind of gives you a bit of excitement, be like, listen, if this is what the Irish crowd can bring in their own country, and we go over there, imagine how mad we're gonna be when we go. Like how mad they're gonna be when they come over there.
Yeah, I mean it's nuts. Like the fact that the Irish have a presence in New York like they do is impressive.
Yeah,
Like you said, obviously in the three arena, everyone there is Irish, but in New York, everyone there is also Irish.
yeah,
Not every country can do that. Very few countries can do that. If you had a French boxer, a Spanish boxer, an Italian boxer, countries that are far bigger than Ireland, you would never get the same support. And I think that's due to two main reasons, which is number one, how much the Irish love sports and boxing specifically, and number two, just the history of Irish people in New York and in the on the East Coast of the US, for the last couple
yeah.
centuries.
Um, did you really plan, like, was it ever in the plan to be like, okay, I'll make my debut at MSG, or did you have anywhere else in mind before? If MSG didn't work out, was there any other plans?
For me, it was like MSG or nothing. Obviously, that was very cocky of me, and
Yeah,
I should have considered other options. But for me, it was like I need to have even just when I was starting out in the amateurs, it was like, yeah, my pro debut, I wanted to be at Madison Square Garden,
it's mad.
and like the
And now
fact that
you're
it's
here.
happening is unbelievable. I still can't.
We have a big card in Belfast here, in Northern Ireland, in Belfast on Saturday. Paddy
Yeah.
Donovan against Lewis Crocker. Do you have any take on the fight? Because obviously, it's trending. We're Irish boxing. Have a little chat about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of trying out the Patty Donovan haircut. I don't know if you
Okay, I
could tell.
see that.
I'm
I
like,
see that.
trying to grow some long hair. So I think Patty was at my fight against Dawson. I remember I walked out and looked out and saw him, which was pretty cool because I look up to him as well. Multiple time Irish champion. Yeah, I mean that's a great fight. Crocker's from the north, right? Where's
Yes.
where's Patty from?
Paddy's from Limerick in the south.
Okay, so it's kind of like a little thing there too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
it's
get you.
gonna
I
be a
get you.
good fight. I
Yeah,
know Patty's very slick, like good feet, stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I think Patty Donovan's gonna win, but who knows? Then the winner fights for a world title, right? So that's a pretty
yeah.
big deal.
IBF World Eliminator. One last question on three singular words. What can we expect from Seán O'Brádaigh? I speak Irish, but I don't. How do you speak? How do you say the second name?
Yeah, and O'Brothy.
O'Brady. Three words we can expect from Seán O'Brady, March 16th, MSG on your debut. What can we expect?
We can expect electric. We can expect. We're using words, right? I can't
Yeah,
just
so
say
three
something.
singular words. Three singular words.
Okay, electric. I'm trying to find the right words. I
I,
should
I
have
I get
prepped with
people
this.
on this question. I get people on this question all the time.
Uh, because I don't want to sound corny either. I was gonna say like,
Knockout.
uh, yeah, we'll say knockout. I
Okay.
definitely expect to get a
Electric knockout.
knockout
Entertaining.
and entertaining. Yeah, why not?
Electric knockout and
I'll take your
entertaining.
words.
I like that.
Let's do it. It's gonna be
Seán,
unreal.
on that note, really appreciate you coming on. March 16 people. Seán makes his debut on the Callum Walsh Undercard. And make sure to go out, obviously, support him from the New York Irish people that are probably watching this at the moment on YouTube. Seán, do you have anything else to say to the American Irish, all your crowd? Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, get your tickets, show up. If you know me, come to the after party. And if you won't be in New York, stream it on UFC Fight Pass. It's gonna be unreal. Crazy event. Watch every single fight. From Donna to Callum, watch every single fight.
Seán, on that note, really appreciate it.
Thank you.